This is Susie Ronk and Emma Brinson for Linton-Stockton Student Press. We're here interviewing
Brad Sparks.
Thank you for speaking with us. What made you want to become a fireman?
Well, actually, I'm third generation firefighter. My grandfather was fire chief, and then my dad, he worked under him for years. And then I tried when I first got out of high school, but I found out I had to be 21. So it took me a little bit. Then I just started the process of wanting to follow my dad's footsteps, I guess, and my grandfather's for that matter. I started in some schooling, and it took me 6 years to finally get on. And in 1999, I got on as a firefighter, and it just went from there. So the reason I'm here is it was kind of a family-oriented thing.
What is it like being chief of the fire department?
Well, there's sometimes it's fun. You get to do things like we're doing today. I get to do the fire safety stuff with the little kids from kindergarten up. You get to meet a lot of people from here and away from here. You get to kind of help, I don't know really how to say it, but you get to bring new things into the department, new things for the community. Basically, I get to work with the community a lot more than the guys here that's working the trucks, and I really enjoy that.
Did you have any other jobs before you became the chief of the fire department?
Before I became chief, I was just a firefighter here. Before I finally got on here at the fire department, I worked on the ambulance service for about 3 years. Before that, I worked at the prison. And while I was working at the prison, I worked nights, and that's when I done all my training. I went to VU for my EMT, and then I done some other firefighter training stuff just to get under my belt.
How do you think those previous jobs shaped you for becoming the chief?
Well, when you work at a prison, you get to deal with all kinds of people. So in doing this job, you get the same, you deal with those people too. So I think people skills, just working with other people.
Can you tell us a bit about your first jobs as a firefighter?
I was scared, scared to death actually, because I'd applied for the job several times, and I promised people that the guys that was going to be hiring me, I promised them that I'd do a good job and told them what my goals were. But after I got in here and got comfortable, I worked with a bunch of real good guys that knew their job well, and I've learned from them. So basically just scared.
How long did it take you to assume your current position?
I took over in 12, so 99, it took me about 13 years, roughly.
You said before, and we also read, that your father was a successful chief. Was there ever anything very specific that he did to inspire you to become a chief as well?
Just being himself, I guess. I think it's everybody's goal that's on a department to want to go to the top and be the boss someday. I do think that it kind of come to me a little bit sooner than what I was ready for, but the task was offered and I took it.
With your father being the chief before you, did that add a lot of extra pressure to your job?
Not so much well, I guess maybe it did, because then you've got the stress. Will he do as good as his dad did, or his grandfather in my case? And is he ready for the job? You know, is he doing it because he wants to do it, or is he doing it just because somebody else done it in his family as well? But yeah, it did kind of set some goals.
What were some of the most difficult challenges you had to overcome while working your way up to being the chief?
Well, I don't know. Dealing with when you're in a small department like this, I guess everybody's got the same goals. So staying friends with the guys you're working with and proving to them that I'm the right person for the job over them. When I got appointed chief, there was some guys that had been here longer than me, and I still got the job over them. So to me, I mean, that was a great accomplishment and rewarding. So.
Being the fire chief, what is the most difficult thing that you have to do?
Be a boss. we're a close-knit family. In the fire department here, we spend a lot of time together when we work 24-hour shifts. So a third of our life, these guys are together. And I was in that position, and now I'm there every day with them, except for on the weekends. But basically, if I have to reprimand somebody for something that I've probably done in the past, or just dealing with them in that way, because like, you try to be their friend, but you've also got to be the boss. And then dealing with the politics part of it, you can't make everybody happy.
What is your favorite thing about being the chief?
Being able to do this kind of stuff, like I said before, doing the fire safety stuff, spending the time with the kids. This gives me a chance to get away from the fire department and go out and speak with, and I say a lot about kids, but I deal with a lot of the elderly too. We go to nursing homes, and we go to the homes, you know, there may be elderly by themselves at home, and we get to go work with them and talk to them about different ways that they can do things better in their house. So to me, I guess it's just being in the public.
What makes you different than past chiefs that came before you?
Well, I'm better looking. I don't know. I really can't say anything bad about anybody that I've ever worked under or even heard about in the past. Times have changed, you know, as we go, and it's just like you kids, it's at school, you know, your guys are learning different things than what we was learning when I was in your class. But hopefully, it's just that I'm working with a lot smaller budget and trying to bring in newer equipment. So hopefully, just the fact that I'm being creative budgeting maybe. Wrong person.
To us, you are a huge part of the community. How does that make you feel?
Well, I try to be just the average guy, but you get that a lot, and I want everybody to think that I'm just the average guy. I'm just here to do a job and hopefully keep everybody safe while we're doing it.
If there was one legacy that you would want to leave behind as a citizen of Linton and as a fire chief both, what would it be?
That I've made everybody happy, and we've had fun doing it.
This has been Emma Brenson and Susie Ronk with the Linton-Stockton Student Press. Thank you so much.